Hi, it's that time of the week, the new spark question. So it's been kind of busy, crazy in my life right now, and I've been thinking about choices and how, I have experienced choices from everything from life is happening to me, I can't do it. And so my choices become minimal, they become smaller, um, they become disempowered. And then there's I'm so excited, I'm so full of passion, I know who I am. And when I make choices, it's they're big, they're important, they're true, they're authentic, they're honoring my inner truth. So I thought I would ask you, do you know who's making your choice? Because we have moments in our days, in our weeks, where things are just really flowing. Um, we're experiencing the desires of our hearts coming into fruition, and it feels so good and so exciting, and I want to honor that for you, and I want to honor that for me. So I want to talk about choice because there are all kinds of choices that come from lots of various aspects of yourself. And so when you ask the question, who is making this choice? You're asking for clarity. You're asking for the part of you, your higher self, that is connected to your divine path, your divine purpose, and it will give you the inspired answer of what kind of choice you need to make. So, and some of you may be saying, well, all of them are me. I'm going to agree with you on that. Um, but again, who's making that decision? Who's choosing for you? Is it part of your wounded self, that part of you that had trauma, that was rejected, that was abandoned, that was abused, that was hurt? And that part of you wants to protect you, wants to keep you safe, wants you to stay exactly the way you are, exactly with what you know. And it doesn't like change, and it doesn't like growth because it's scary, because it puts them in a very seen space that things might change, and that can be a little overwhelming. So that's another reason to say, who's making this choice? And I'm also going to assert this opinion of mine that so many of us choose from victimhood. I mentioned before that that life happens to me, and it's like that's so disempowering. That's victimhood. That's when you don't own that you know what you know, that you know who you are, that you know what you want. And sometimes those can feel really iffy, right? But it's better to be in the I kind of know what I want. It feels like I know what I want, and make a choice from that space than the other side of that, which is I don't know, I can't know, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, um, I never make the right decision, I'm so stupid, I don't have what it quote, like what it takes to make that decision. So that could be education, experience, um, just anything that stands in your way that you use to keep yourself in a victim place. And victimhood comes and goes. It's not one of those things that you can like heal the victim, heal the wound, and it will never return. It's just not that way. So um so it's good to know, am I choosing from my victimhood versus my empowered authentic self? And so, and you'll know because the thoughts that will come to your mind when you are empowered, when you know you, the adult you in this very moment is making the choice, you'll feel things like, oh, this feels so aligned. Oh, this feels so right. I can feel that I want this, that I desire whatever this is, whatever choice you're choosing. Um, And it might also feel like, wow, my life and my choices are creating my life. I own my life. I own my choice. And anything in that range of positive thought, empowering moments, inspirational energy that's filling you, that's when you know that you, the adult, the current moment self, is making that choice. And I can tell you that even that, when you get to that space and you're so excited and you're about to make your choice, slow down, stop for just a moment, take a breath, because oftentimes we humans feel like we have to instantaneously respond. And we live in a culture that so supports that. If somebody sends you a text message, sorry, that was really fast and I didn't even understand myself. So if somebody sends you a text message and you're like, I got to answer right this second, but you're in a conversation with someone, you're doing something else like the dishes or you're whatever, and you stop and you answer that text message in that moment right now, that's instantaneous culture. It's conditioning. You do not have to. You own your time, you own your life, and you're making a choice to instantaneously give up yourself and answer that text or that phone call. Or it's so like we just react. And so let's talk a little bit about reacting and responding. Reaction comes from a place of scarcity. It comes from the need and the belief that you have to fill in the blank right now because there's a false sense that you have to control the situation, that you are the important one, you're the one who knows, and that person that is reaching out to you absolutely cannot and will not make that choice for themselves. They're looking for you to step in. They're giving you their power and you're accepting it because in some deep part of ourselves, we feel loved, we feel seen, we feel needed, we feel important when somebody gives us their power. And we don't need that. We don't need other people to give us their power. We are fully empowered. We are fully internally sourced. We have all kinds of ways to fill ourselves up. And I talk about that all the time in this podcast, in these questions. Go to nature, take a moment, take a deep breath. Do not react, because reaction 99% of the time is going to come back and bite you in the ass. And that doesn't feel good. And it just starts to validate that you don't know and that you're not good enough and you're not worthy. So slow it down. This instantaneous need to have a response to make someone else happy, to fulfill that hole that we're searching to fill, whatever that hole might be for each one of us. Slow down and respond. So when you respond, you have taken time to honor yourself. You have taken time to check in with your inner truth. You have contemplated choices about how you want to show up, when you want to show up. And that is authenticity. And it's sometimes really hard to choose. And especially when you have someone in your life, multiple people in your life, demanding your time, your energy, your attention for whatever reason. It could be work related, it could be family related. And sometimes when we're instantly responding, instantly forcing ourselves to engage when we don't want to, it comes from a time when you had to, but you don't anymore. You get to take a moment and choose. So if you hear my phone ringing, I apologize. I don't know why it's ringing right now, but it is. Anyway, my desire for you is to slow down, to take a moment, to choose what feels right and aligned for you, to respond instead of react. So some people might ask me, well, Danny, you talked about trauma and pain and that inner part of you that is holding on to that experience. I want to encourage you to sit with that part and listen. I want to encourage you to seek out support if you feel like you want it, whether that's a friend, whether it's a counselor, whether it's someone like me who does energy healing work, life coaching. It's okay to get help. It's wonderful. It's an act of self-love. So, because you do need to heal, not because you're not perfect, but because there is something inside of you that's holding you back from living your full authenticity, your full out best life. And I want that for you. So, and it requires forgiveness, not of the other person per se, but forgiveness for yourself, forgiveness for the things that you did, said, didn't do, and maybe ultimately forgiveness for that other person, because holding resentment and anger and frustration towards someone dims our energy and it robs us of that amazing, incredible life that we all long to live and experience. So I am so grateful that you're here. I'm so grateful that we can connect. And if this question of the week sparked something within you and you're struggling with knowing how to process it, or holy shit, that really resonated, I want you to feel comfortable reaching out to me. And you can do that through social media. You can do that by contacting me via my website or my email. And all of that contact information is always written below in the summary notes, whether you're on YouTube or on Spotify. So thank you. I am grateful. In this moment, I feel such love for all of you that listen, that share. And it really is like heartwarming, touching. This is my passion. This is my purpose. And I'm so excited and so grateful that I said yes to it. So I appreciate it. And I can't do this without you. So have a wonderful, wonderful day.